and welcome back to Richard's Toy Room. Oh my goodness, you can't even see me. This box is so enormous. We got a real treat for you today. This is a rare one. This is Mego Corporation's Dynamite. Not Dynamite Kaboom, although there is a stick of dynamite in her logo. It's a play on words, obviously, but it's Dinah like Dinah Shore and Mite like small, M-I-T-E. And she was basically, well, if you want to argue, she was Mego's answer to Barbie, even though Mego had other Barbie-sized dolls like Maddie Mod, and I think there was at least one other one. Her promotional material, she was kind of pushed against Barbie in the manner that she was pointing out Barbie's defects and the things that she could do, such as stand on her own and be posed in several different positions due to the very posable jointed body that Mego designed for their female figures. She's the same size as Action Jackson and all the other 8-inch Mego figures. This is probably the rarest Dynamite playset as well, although she had other accessories that were much rarer than even this beach house. Now this was based on the Action Jackson Jungle House, which was later reissued as the very, very much more prevalent Planet of the Apes treehouse. It's almost identical to those two. The frame of itself is identical except for the color, and most of the accessories, or I shouldn't say most of the accessories, but some of the stuff that is attached to the playset, so to speak, is reused in all three of those. But obviously, being Dynamite, she's got the wacky paisley background and roof and floor and all that, and of course she has furniture instead of whereas Action Jackson really didn't have any furniture. It was his kind of man cave. Well, actually, he had a man cave, if you want to call it that, his Lost Continent playset, but it was literally a cave. But you know what I mean. Anyhow, before I babble on and on, let's get on with it. So, what we're going to do today is, the only thing I'm missing from this set, again, commonly, is the instruction sheet. But the only thing that's really good for, and even that's not 100% accurate, is for confirming that your set is complete. Most of those Mego stuff that came out that are pictured on all their boxes in this time period were prototypes. Infamously, the Planet of the Apes treehouse shows figures in outfits and color schemes that were never released, and no one has ever found. They were only made for these photo shoots, and they changed things between the time they made these prototypes and the time that they actually started producing these and shipping them out. One of the biggest things you can see on here is down in the bottom of the treehouse, there's like an X brace, which is non-existent on any of these tree houses, and is not in the instruction sheets either. So that was an interesting concept that they had there. I guess that didn't quite work out the way they had planned on it. Now this also includes, as you can see here, the wrong side. As you can see here, the pool set with it's a huge. I mean, it's like as big as this box when you blow it up. So I'm not going to blow it up, but I will show it to you. It is in here. It's a pool, a ball, and a raft, which is a little ironic since the one thing that they never did issue for Dynamite was a bathing suit. So you'd think, I mean, that would be like the first thing that they would give her. I mean, they did give her a skin diving, scuba diving outfit, but I don't think she's going to be doing much scuba diving in her inflatable pool. But I just thought that was a little ironic. So anyway, this set did come with a Dynamite doll, as you can see by the sticker on the box. Again, wrong side. So what we're going to do on this is we're going to open it up. We're going to show you what you get, and we're going to show you how to put it together and then show you the finished treehouse or beach house in Dynamite's case. So let's get started. So first, I'd like to show you this enormous pool. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It actually is bigger than this treehouse. It's like I said, it's as big as that box that I just pulled it out of. And here is the raft and the beach ball, and of course the gigantic pool. And I have blown this up before, and it's in perfect condition, but it's just way too big to display. So I'm going to fold it back up. Just store it in the box. Okay, so let's get started. Of course, here's your Dynamite, and we won't focus too much on her. Maybe I'll do a video about the actual Dynamite dolls sometime in the future. But this one is in basically mint condition. All her joints are super tight. Her outfit, belt, and shoes are like, I mean, she looks like she was just pulled out of a box. So, as far as accessories, here is the rope ladder that you get with the Planet of the Apes treehouse. And I would imagine comes with the Action Jackson Jungle house as well. Although I don't have one of those yet, so I can't confirm that. This is a corner shelf. Now I have seen, and I believe this is one of the things that may be, you know what, I need to look this up to find out. Okay, so here's one of the things like I was talking about, this corner shelf. This is not shown on the box. And when I first got my set, this is actually a set that I pieced together from two tree houses that I bought, and then I sold off the ones that were in a little lesser condition. So, you know, there was a couple of things missing from the original set that when I first picked this up. And one of it was this corner shelf. Now, I knew this corner shelf was included in the Apes treehouse, but since I was missing the instruction sheet and I couldn't find it anywhere to look at it, I just assumed, since it's not pictured on the box on the prototype, that it didn't come with one. Well, then I saw a instruction sheet and I saw that it's supposed to have one, and I indeed did eventually run across another one, like I said, that I bought, and it was without the box, and you know, so it was a loose treehouse, and was able to complete my treehouse because it had the missing plant shelf. So anyway, you get that. Here's your wild and crazy hammock, which does not work very well. It wants to constantly fall off. You'll see that later. Then you get a really chintzy plastic, 2 chairs and a table, and they are marked Mego on them. I think that's like another thing. Like I got the chairs and table. I think like maybe I had one that had like a broken or glued leg or something on it. So, you know, I sold that one with the parts that I sold off. Here you got the pivoting cabinet with the shelves in the back. Again, this is in the Planet of the Apes and other tree houses. And here you got, oh, there's another thing. This is one I do remember. The couch was broken, the other one that I had. It was cracked. Like underneath here, it had like a chip out of it. So like I upgraded that to my set. Perfect example. And here's your, remember I told you about the X crossbar for the legs that doesn't exist? Well, these are the supports that go between the legs underneath. This is a part of the front part of the treehouse. This is, I'm not sure exactly what this is supposed to be. It's some kind of like outrigger kind of thing that snaps into the side holes. It'll only go on one side of the any of the tree houses, because if you can see down here, wait, it's not showing anything you can't see. You see down here, these 4 holes, this goes in here like that. But uniquely, on the Dynamite treehouse, the floor, the vinyl and cardboard floor part, has a floor molded to go over this. And none of the other tree houses do. That's unique about the Dynamite one. And what's also unique about the Dynamite one is there is, it's probably in here. Yeah, here it is. There is like another wall, or like a side wall, that hangs on the one side of the treehouse that the other ones don't have either. Here's the back shelf. Again, same as the Apes and Action Jackson with the hidden radio. And now you know why the Apes had a hidden radio in their treehouse. Here is a back support. This goes behind that shelf. And here are the 4 legs. These are common. This and this part especially are very common on any Mego treehouse, to have these pegs busted off. That's one thing you really got to look for if you're buying one of these. Now the other thing that are commonly busted off on the Mego treehouses are the pegs that you push. They're up here and down here. And this one has them all. None of them are broken off, which is very rare on a Mego treehouse. You got to watch for those too. And that is what all these holes that you see are, all these hole slots. They push down over those pegs. They got like a kind of a bump out in them, and that kind of snaps this down into place and keeps it sturdy. So let's move that over here. And then last but not least, here is the floor. And as you can see, like I mentioned, here's that bump out. This is the bottom part of the... Oh, another thing I forgot. The Dynamite treehouse does not have the step up cutout here that is kind of like, sort of like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a ladder on an angle. It's got little slots cut in it. It's like that's where he's supposed to walk up to get in treehouse, and then you can pull it up on the Action Jackson one and lock it so it's like a trapdoor kind of, not a trapdoor, but like it's built like a trapdoor, and keep people from coming in your treehouse. You know, pull up the rope ladder on the side. So the only way to actually get into Dynamite's treehouse is up that rope ladder. So that's critical for if you want to visit Dynamite's treehouse. And the other thing is, it doesn't have that crow's nest in the roof like the other two do either. So this is more like girlified, I guess, instead of military. Or an action adventure, if you will. And obviously the orange color. But on those other ones, if you wanted to, if you were kind of tired of, you know, having everything the same way, you could take this and flip it over this way, and then the holes would line up differently, and you could do the same thing with the roof, flip it over so it match, and you could move the crow's nest to the other side, and then the stairs that folded up and down would come from the other side of the treehouse, because they're only cut in one way. So that's something, I don't know if anybody knew that, but you can do that on those, not this one, because like I told you, that little outrigger thing will only go on one side of the treehouse. So this has to go this way. No other way to do it. So why don't we put this puppy together? So dread taking this apart and putting it together because, you know, I mean, this thing is almost 50 years old now. And it's plastic. And, you know, eventually, you know, things on plastic break. And so far I've been lucky. We got any wood here? Any wood? Any wood? There's no wood to knock on. Anyway, take me chances. This goes on here. It's easier to put this in first because if you put the shelf on the bracket, then you can't flex this part as much to get this pin in here. So it's best to put this on first. There. As you can see, now it pivots around on that one pin that you just snapped in there. And if you move this all the way over, it'll only go that far. So now, you would take this. It's got these two raised parts on here, and they go under here. You've got kind of these 4 pins on the bottom that this back part slides into. And what you kind of have to do is sort of, it's hard, I'm hoping that you can see this, but this side has kind of like a square shape and this side's kind of more just like a peg almost. So you want to slide this over on this first because it's kind of like that sort of construction. And then you just basically snap this in here and there. Just make sure it's even, because now you have to snap this part on the back of here. This is the part I don't like doing because I'm always afraid this is going to be the one time that these things split. But just go slow and you should be good. There goes that one. There goes that one. Three and 4. Okay. There. That part's on. All right. There we go. Okay. Now put this in. Goes in these front holes either side. Just kind of got to fight everything. Put it all between their holes here. All right. Now, just kind of push that together so the pegs are together. Now, this part here these two loops, what you want to do is they go in the back part here, like that. Carefully lift them up over so you don't put a hole in the loop. Same thing on this side. You take it and you tuck it back in here, like so. Carefully just kind of stretch it just enough. Don't rip it. Alright. Now you can push all these down on their pegs. And you have the bottom part finished here. Of course you can put this in now since the floor's already in. Carefully, don't break it. Now the bottom part's done. Okay. Now you're going to want to put this part on. This is that other wall. And this basically fits like this. It just hangs. But this hole here, see this bump out here on this side? There's another one on this side just like it. So it goes over that hole on this side, and then you push, well, you just place really the already pre-cut holes over the pegs here. See, it's just a flimsy little wall just for looks. It doesn't attach at the bottom in any way, it just hangs there. And what keeps it from falling off is, of course, the roof. Now, the roof will actually go on either way on this set because there's no crow's nest to deal with. So, I mean, this one is slightly kind of warpy. I guess it really doesn't matter. There's not much you can do about these. I mean, this one's in really excellent condition, to be honest with you. I mean, I've seen them with splits and with, folded, and I mean, just a little bit of warpage on this is no big deal. I wouldn't bother trying to do anything with it. Let's see what one looks better. Does it look better that way? Yeah, that'll be good. We'll put it on that way. So now you simply just push this all the way down until they snap into place. Said and done. This one's a little offset for some reason. It's probably how these things get broken. Alright, I'm going to put that one on first because that'd be in trouble. There we go. And now we do the same thing on this side. Okay, and there's your basic tree house, or beach house, sorry. I keep calling it a tree house. So now what we have is this corner shelf here, and this will only go in one place. Now, if you feel in here, there's nothing, but if you feel in these three over here, correspond to the three pegs on here. And it's textured as kind of wood texture on one side, so that's the way it goes. So basically it just slides in the inside parts of these three holes, and then you just push it down until it hits those three little pieces that are inside the slots. All right, we're getting close. So now we have to put the legs on. Now, I'm not sure if these are the original poles or not. I've never seen ones that were, I don't know if you can see this or not, but they're not tapered, but they're like cut down. They're like a larger diameter, and then they're cut down, you know, lathed down, whatever you want to call it. And then they have slots cut in them, you know, so they don't, you know, so they have some flexibility to them. They don't get stuck in the holes. They go in these holes in the legs. But I've never seen ones that were like this. They're usually the whole dowel is the same diameter all the way through, the ones I've ever seen. But I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody could have made these, but they look like they came with it like this. So I don't know. So what I find the easiest way to do these is I just basically put the dowels between the legs to start with. If you do it on a flat surface, then if they're tight, then you know you already have them level. You know, these don't even stay in at all. Whereas that one does, but this one's a little loose. Kind of get the feeling maybe somebody homemade these. Maybe they lost the ones that it came with, but it doesn't matter. It's not that critical part that you have to go, oh my gosh, I don't have the original wooden dowels. You can go to Home Depot and buy 2 dowels and put them in yourself, and no one will never know the difference probably. They're not painted, they're not stained, they're just bare wood dowels. Because I had the treehouse when I was a kid, and that's the way they were. So, now, all you do here is put these in the holes. Again, you want to be careful with these because these are a common part that breaks on these. Now you just lift the whole thing up here. 7 feet. If it's not quite in there, you can kind of put them in a little nicer. They're in all the way, so they're a little bit more sturdy. Now we're almost done. Now the rope ladder, you can basically hang that from any of these 4 posts, well, 2 posts, because on this side you're not going anywhere if you got it, but I mean up here you can climb up and get on over here, or on the box they show up here, so we can put it there. Either one, doesn't matter, up to you, it's not critical. So we can cheat and go through here, so I don't have to like keep moving things around. So you can just take your furniture, just kind of sit the couch in there, and then maybe she wants her table over here. You can kind of eat out on the balcony, whatever you want to call it. So it would have been neat if they gave you like a potted plant to put on this little shelf for her. That would have kind of been the touch that kind of a dollhouse, so to speak, should have had. Now the last thing is this hammock. And like I said, this doesn't stay up very well. Now this is supposed to go right here, which is another kind of stupid thing, because if the only way to get into Dynamite's treehouse is up this ladder, and you're ending up on this platform here, and this hammock is here, you gotta have to fight your way past it to get into the treehouse. And that's how flimsy that sits up there like that. And I could try to put her in there, but I get the feeling that she's going to fall off. Or the hammock's going to fall off, either one. Okay, you can see it does actually work, but it's kind of lame. So here we go. Here's Dinah. She's welcoming you to her lovely beach house. Put that back down. She says, come visit. We'll have a barbecue. Although she doesn't really have a grill, that's in her van. And we'll do a video on that one of these days. So there you go. You got the very rare Mego Dynamite Beach House. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Come back soon for more great videos. Bye.